Hello, we're here for another live stream, and today we've got some very special guests from Horry County Police Department. Now, before we get stuck into that, I just want to remind you what D4H is. D4H is an incident management platform. It's all in the cloud, and it allows your response team to plan for, coordinate, and review afterwards what's happening on an operation. And we've got users in all sorts of different fields, from emergency management, from fire departments. Today we're looking at police departments and how they use D4H. This live stream is completely live. You may be watching us back afterwards. All our videos are available on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, which please do subscribe to. But if you're watching the live show, you're able to comment and ask questions. So what we'd like you to do is join in the show. Any of your comments actually come up live here on the screen. We've got Amy in the background who's producing this, and she's putting comments in front of us that are coming in on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on X, on Facebook, wherever you're picking up this live stream. So with that, let's get our guests in, Amy, if we can. Hey guys, how are you? So welcome Sergeant Misty Gore and Captain Justin Wyatt from Horry County, South Carolina.
Thank you. We're glad to be here. We are lovely to be on this and to be able to talk about D4H and how we use it. So we're excited about this.
Excellent. What we might do first is look at where you are in the world. Amy, could you bring up a map? Okay, so East Coast of the United States, you can see the icon here. What's notable about the area for people who aren't familiar with the East Coast of the United States?
Absolutely. So the travel destination Myrtle Beach is within Horry County. Mm-hmm. What is unique is it's a very large county. It's about the size of the state of Rhode Island. It's 1,100 square miles.
Okay.
We have both urban areas and very rural areas. So it's diverse. We have rivers and waterways running all throughout the county. And then we are also in the hurricane-prone zone. We've been hit with multiple hurricanes over the past decade. So we use D4H extensively during hurricane evacuations and hurricane activities as well. But most people know us for Horry County, for Myrtle Beach, and vacationing down here along the coast.
Okay, excellent. And with D4H, I know we're going to talk today about special events and the usage, as well as just sort of regular operations within the police department. Can you give us a sense of the types of, actually, let's break them up into two. What are the special events, and then what are the kind of regular duties within a police department that you're using it for?
Sure. So special events, we have very large gatherings throughout the year because of the tourist destination that we are. So we have like Bike Fest. We have over about 1 million people come down to enjoy Bike Fest. So we have to plan out. It's a 10-day festival. So to plan out the whole festival, we have to work on the assignments of the officers. We have about 400 officers that we have to assign during that 10-day span. We have PGA. We have a national PGA event that we have to plan for. You name it, we have festivals for shrimp, for crab festivals. You name it, we have a festival for it. So all these events that we have, we use D4H to plan before the event comes. We start about 3 to 4 months out, and then we do a post AAR, after action review of the event on D4H after the event's completed, so that we're prepared again for the next year's event.
Excellent. And so what type of operations are a police department planning for versus another department? I mean, what kind of information is going into D4H? What are the plans for?
Absolutely. So we always start off with the situation page and the cover sheet page for what we use under the forms, and just the basic overall, hey, this is the event. It tells you about the event. Then we move into the, hey, we're looking at what special instructions do our officers need to know. So we have a special event page number, what we call page 2. And then we talk about, hey guys, this is what you need to look out for. This is the daily assignments, and so on and so forth. And then we go on to the medical plan. Hey, if somebody gets hurt, if an officer gets hurt, if a civilian gets hurt, or if there's a mass casualty incident, these are the closest hospitals. These are traumas. These have helipads. These don't. so that under a quick glance, and while looking at this, the officers know which hospital will be our fallback zone. We put in our rally points into the mapping system so that, hey, we know that if something goes bad and we need to fall back to our rally point, this is where it's at. And we can use the map to actually drop a pin to actually show you where that rally point would be. And then it goes further into the events that are several days long. We actually have a form for each individual day with who the incident commander is, what everyone's assignment is, what's laid out, the times they're working, their phone numbers, their call numbers. And then at the very end, we have the after action form where we type in all the information that we gather throughout the event so that once again, we can prepare it better for the next year. And then at the end, we archive it and we know that it's saved forever. And so that next year when it rolls around, we just unarchive it. We look what we did, and then we kind of build the next year's event based on that.
Excellent. And how does that differ to day-to-day policing operations that you'll be doing?
So our day-to-day policing is how we use D4H is for our daily operations in our narcotic and detective divisions. So if we know that we have a drug bust or a drug buy or any type of narcotic operation coming up for any given day, that's put into D4H. It's got its own case number, has its own file number, and then that builds out so that the officers, whoever's doing that operation that day, can go back, oh, hey, my partner put in this information about the house that we're going to go knock and talk to, or they dropped in information about the suspect. We uploaded the search warrants. We upload the arrest warrants. We upload that into that file so that when we are ready to move on that house, it's all there in that pretty package under that incident in D4H, and everybody involved can see it. And if it's not locked, then they can actually go in there and add to it. And then when it's finalized by myself or my boss, it locks the form. So we know that, hey, it's locked in. This is what we're doing. And in case, and unless we agree to the changes, it stays locked. And we know that it cannot be edited because of that. So that's another added safety feature when you're doing day-to-day operations. Hey, this is locked in. This is what we're doing. We know it's not going to be changed unless we approve that change.
Excellent. Misty, you're saying to us that May was one of the busiest months you've had?
Yeah, so most of all our big special events happen during May. Very beginning, we have the PGA Tour of Myrtle Beach Classic that has come to the beach, which we will be doing for the next 4 years. Then we come into our first bike rally, the spring rally. Then we go into the Memorial Day rally. So it's a whole month of multiple operations, as well as blue crab being thrown in there. So each event has its own category, like Captain was saying, that we can keep it simple and separate. So it's a lot easier for our officers to understand, as well as us keep it organized.
Excellent. So in these pictures, what are we looking at here? You've
so right there
in the picture.
So this picture right here, we're looking at our armored Bearcat. As part of our SWAT operation. And then we have 4 of our motor units from our traffic division. That picture is taken from Palmetto State Armory. It's a local gun store that had a local appreciation event for law enforcement. And we go there and show off some of our more fun equipment, is what I like to say.
Very good. Some vehicle.
It's fully armored. We just took possession of that about a year ago. That's our command post, and that picture was actually taken during the Memorial Day rally this year, so that's not a couple of days old, but that is a very updated picture of our command post. And then we operate.
Is that the two of you? Is that the two of you on the?
It is.
Yeah, excellent. And so, what's in the command post? What would I see if I walk in there?
So sure. So you walk in and you have fire department command and police department command and emergency management all in there.
Very good.
You have 7 workstations with computers hooked up to the county network. You have a big masked camera, so you have overall visuals. You have some smart boards in there. There's radios. There's 7 different radio heads, so we can listen to multiple radio channels. And we have a CAD access, so that you can actually pull up calls for service from in there. So there's nothing that you can't do at a normal police department headquarters or fire department headquarters that you couldn't do in that mobile command bus.
Very good. And it's shared is fantastic. I recognize that screen on the laptop.
Yes. So that is at our Horry rally about 2 years ago, I believe. That was taken shortly after we expanded our services with D4H,
Yes.
one of many expansions, as we've learned. And what I was doing there is we're making some changes on the fly. Some of our personnel had to be swapped out at the last moment. You can see the bike rally going on in the distance in front of me. And I was going on there and I was logging in and making those personnel changes so that it would be updated for command personnel to look at any given time.
Brilliant.
And what's nice is I'm able to do it on the fly. I don't have to be at an office. I don't have to be at a command post. I was on the tailgate of my truck doing it, and it worked just as easy.
And so you have the beach here as well. This is the famous Myrtle Beach.
Yes. Our beach patrol, it stays active throughout the year. It's actually one of the best jobs I ever had. I was on beach patrol for about 10 years and I loved it. I miss it quite often.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. Wow.
This picture shows more of our motor units and another one of our armored vehicles. And they are practicing and preparing for going into bike week.
Very good. I see Michael Panman is saying good morning. So morning, Michael. And a good reminder for anyone watching, if you've got any questions about what you're hearing, you can just comment on any of the platforms that you're watching this on. Just put anything in the comments and they come up live here in front of us. So let's start talking about D4H and how you use it. I think there was an opportunity maybe to share a screen.
Yes. Misty, I'll let you share that.
Good morning, B as well, whoever B is watching on YouTube.
Can you see our screen, Robin?
Yes, we've got it. Excellent.
Okay, so what you see is that some of our rallies are up there that are upcoming. We know the fallback rally is 115 days away. It has the countdown timer on it, which is nice to know at a quick glance. You see where we have search warrants, controlled deliveries. You can see how we're doing all of our search warrants and everything in there. We have a homicide investigation going on. You see that major crimes tab right there, that incident. And then you see the Memorial Day Bike Week and the Spring Bike Week ones are getting ready to be closed out. We're just waiting on some final information before we archive those for next year. But we can open up one that we did here recently and kind of show you why we find it so valuable, especially on narcotic operations and planning out when we're going to use our SWAT team to introduce ourselves to some people around the county that have done bad things. We always create personal forms, which is nice because they're totally editable. We go to the admin area and we can make them for us. And that's one of the big things. It's not a one size fits all approach.
Amy, could we bring that up a little bit bigger if you're there? Maybe put us in the corner. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so Justin, you were saying there, these are your operations plans. These aren't ICS forms? These are your own custom forms?
These are our own forms. We use the ICS forms more for the major event planning when we know it's going to be a long haul. We've got months to plan. When we're doing we've got to go and arrest somebody for narcotics violations, and we need to hit that house within 24 hours. We pre-made these forms to cover everything that we need for special operations. I'll open up our tactical assessment. This is one of the ones I'm most proud of. And, you get the location and you get, the briefing times, which is kind of standard. But what I like is we actually can add visuals. Hey, this is our house. This is the door. This is our primary breach. This is the back door, the sides, possible camera locations. We have the overall, so we know what's behind, what's in front, what's in rear. And everybody that's going to go to this house to execute the search warrant sees this or has access to it. And this is how we brief. We talk about the evacuation protocol, which operation and which equipment we need. And then you see the signature by the SWAT team leader to say that he's approved this operation plan.
Fantastic.
And then going back to the forms, you'll see where I'll go down to the bottom. is that for each event, it has to have a level of signatures. That case agent signs it, the supervisor signs it, the lieutenant was on vacation, so it skipped over him, and then the division commander, which is myself, and then my boss signed it. When we sign it, it locks the form, so it can no longer be changed without our approval. But we know that, hey, if something bad was to happen, it goes to court. We know who has signed it, who has approved it, and it's there forever. So that's one of the big things that we like about D4H in general, is how we're able to do that. And then I can't say enough, not only the mobile application, but the mobile app. Yes, what you're seeing is our desktop version, but the mobile app is just as friendly. To pull it up, to look at it on our phone while we're driving, while we are briefing. Hey, what about this? We can pull it back up. We can make changes. We can look at it, and we can review it on our cell phone. And that is huge because you don't have to open up a laptop. You don't have to try to find internet service. All you got to do is have a cell service, and you're in the app, and you can do and see everything just like you would as if you were on the mobile device, a laptop.
Very good. Can you go back into that form section and just show, if you press add new form, the different templates that you have?
Yes, sure. Not a problem. Let me.
So you go back into forms.
Yep.
And you press add. Yeah, we can see the different forms. So these are the first few are your special forms that you've done yourself.
These are the ones that we found that we needed to kind of modify. But even these were modified off of the original ICS forms that FEMA does. So we took the instant briefing and we kind of made it our cover sheet or our title page. So we kept the original ICSs because we still use those for hurricanes and whenever FEMA's involved and whenever we have a multi-jurisdictional situation. But we were able to take them and make them unique for us and save them so they're easy to pull back and easy to create another form real quick if we need to.
And then did you mention you customized the ICS form slightly, or was that these forms above?
That's these forms above, is that we slightly changed them and then we saved them under a different name so that we can go back to the original ICS forms if we need to. If there's a need to go back to the originals, we can. That's why we saved them under different names so that we can go, hey, let's revamp this.
Brilliant. And so for anyone watching who's not familiar, here in the admin area, it's self-service. You can build any form you'd like. So you can take a form and edit any form, or you can create a new form and drag and drop different boxes around to build any layout you'd like.
And what I want to say is neither myself nor Sergeant Gore here, we're not computer whizzes. We're not programmers. We are not IT people. And we are able to add, subtract, and build forms. It really is user-friendly. You don't have to be a computer coder or programmer to be able to do it. It with the minuscule amount of training, you can figure it out of, you press the plus sign to add another section, and then it's drop down menu. Say, I want to set times of working, or I want to make a checkbox that we can check, or I need a blank field that I can fill in whatever I need to fill in. It's super easy to do that through the admin area.
Brilliant. The other pieces within there, and you may have confidential information in there you don't want to share, but I'll talk through a little bit. There's a mapping portal where you can go in and draw on the map in real time. You've got logs, which are your chronological logs in terms of posts that have happened throughout the event. Correct.
Yeah, I can't really show those right now, but you're right. That is invaluable. Absolutely invaluable.
And then we've also got the sit rep where it's an overview of the operation you're doing. So these are different components. When you have a larger incident, do you turn on other modules? Like if you click on incident settings, do you have other pieces there that you would use, or do you keep it simple like this?
We keep it really simple. When we're talking about the users and us cops, we like simple. So we have the capabilities to turn them on. We normally do not. We like to keep it simple because you get too much information for police officers and they stop reading. So we really like just to have the meat and potatoes, so to speak, in there so that they pay attention, they read what's important, and then they move on.
Yep.
I go back to the customization of D4H, that if you're working with a department that needs those, then you can absolutely use them. There are so many features. For us, we keep it simple just to what we need to have that plan to pull off that operation and then to move on.
So what did you do before D4H? What's life before and life after D4H look like? What's the difference?
So prior to is what we did is we had Excel spreadsheets. As bad as that sounds, is that we opened up an Excel spreadsheet, we made columns, we made rows, and we just typed it in for big events. Day one, you did this. Day two, you do this. And then for narcotics operation, it was pen and paper, and you wrote it down, and you physically had to go around and get the signatures required to activate it. So yeah, we really were antiquated before D4H. And like I said, we've been with D4H now for at least 8 years. I'm not going on 10 years at this point. I can't quite remember.
Yeah.
But it absolutely was a game changer for us because of how we went from Excel spreadsheets and handwritten ICS paperwork to it's all computerized. And more importantly is I don't have to be sitting at my desk to approve one. I can be on vacation. I can be at home.
Shouldn't be approving stuff on vacation.
Yeah, I shouldn't, but I do.
I shouldn't be doing a live stream on vacation, so you're okay.
So it's one of those things where it's nice. All I gotta do is pick up the phone. My guys text me, "Hey, we got an operation we need to do at midnight tonight," and it's 7:00 in the afternoon. I'm at a soccer game for my kids. I can pick it up, look at the search warrants, look at everything, sign it on my phone, and then they know it's approved and it's a go. And I don't physically have to go into the office to do it.
Yeah.
Prior to, they had to send somebody to find me wherever I was at to get my signature. So inefficiency isn't even the word for what that is.
Okay, excellent. So you've been talking very highly of D4H throughout this. What are the summed up kind of best bits, or why do you love it? Kind of comprised down. It's ease of use, it's convenience. You're more productive with it. I mean, are there any key pieces there?
As far as like drawbacks?
No, we'll do that next. But is there anything else that, like, what's the summary of why you like it? We've heard lots of
the ease of the sharing of it. So we talked about Horry County being in Myrtle Beach. Mm-hmm. So we have 7 different police departments inside of our county. Mm-hmm. So these special events, they don't know jurisdictional boundaries. It flows into the city police. It flows into the state police. I mean, we all come together for these large events. Mm. So what we can do is I can export it to a PDF if I want to and send it out to the other agencies. I can get a link, send it out on an email, and they can just click the link to get it. There's multiple different ways I can share what we've done on D4H with entities outside of us that don't have D4H access, that aren't customers yet.
So that makes sense. So you're the county police. Which city police do you have, or how many other police departments are within the county?
So we have 2 other large city police departments. That's North Myrtle Beach and Myrtle Beach City. Both are municipalities. And they have the majority of the tourist areas within their jurisdictions, but they're still relatively small. And the county has donut holes, what we call that, inside there that we still police inside the cities. So we really do overlap a lot. It would not be unusual for if you get to a shooting call or a shooting scene, you're going to have 2 different cities and the county show up, and we're going to work together to do that. So sharing our information, our IEPs, to share what we're doing with them is integral, and D4H makes that super easy through a QR code, through an email link, or just a plain out PDF form that we can share. And that's one of the nice things, that they don't have to be D4H or have a D4H account to get access to that, as long as we share it.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And when we talked before the call, you mentioned there's a couple of features or things that you'd like to see as improvements. But I do want you to be absolutely brutally honest. completely candid with us in terms of what, and everyone watching, like what annoys you about D4H. What are the irritants? What would you like changed? I mean, tell
Sure.
people because we're live.
So one of the big, and I say drawbacks, but one thing, it's more of a feature that I wish that D4H had, is a way to communicate with those people assigned to that incident. Right now, we open up the form, we see the people assigned, and we've got to pick up our cell phone, type the number in, call them, or text them, and give them an assignment if we need to change it, or if we need to say, hey, I see that this post needs to be moved to this location. I've got to look up the officer, contact them. What I would like to see is a way to people that are assigned to the incident to be able to blast out a message to them to say, hey guys, we've had a change of plans last minute, or because this is a evolving event, which quick events happen, we need to switch and we need to do this. So a messaging, some type of messaging portion in there would be beneficial for us.
Yeah. And so that's obviously before, at the moment you can type at all, or, and it'll send it, but it's just a push notification. The app, what you're looking for is text message, voice call, something more critical to get through to them.
Correct. Something that makes them pay attention. So, I got to look at my phone.
Yeah.
Because you do it the other way. If they're not busy, they may look at it. But if they get a ding on the text message, you got your smartwatch, you can look at it and see a text message come through. Say, hey, fall back to your rally point. Hey, it catches their attention. It's more likely to happen quickly.
So, and so I think this kind of word is out now that we're doing something along those lines. We've what's called D4H alerting. It's customer trials. It was available for customer trials from this week. And we're starting to get a couple of people testing it. It is where you can, it's built into the operations center, and you're able to either send, in the first version, it's free text. In the next release, it'll have templates. But it's phone calls, text messages, WhatsApps, eventually Microsoft Teams, emails are in the first version, and push notifications and critical alerts on the phone. So all those channels will be coming over the next few months, and it's a nice product within that. So we'll definitely get you as one of the test groups of that.
That'd be great.
Fantastic. Is there anything else? What else? Is there anything irritating? Or
the only other thing that I would, it's not really irritating, but like, once again, I'm going to go back to the lowest common denominator, police officers. We're a bunch of meat eaters out there.
Are you including firefighters in your?
No. They're much smarter than we are. They get to sleep. I mean, what can you say? While they're getting paid. So, I mean, but I love my fire department brothers in all seriousness. But no, because police officers, they just want the main information. They want just the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to see or learn how to do is to highlight, bold, underline certain sections in those forms. Say, hey, you need to pay attention to this. This is a key piece of information I really want you to pay attention to, and really just make it stand out. So when they open that form or they look at that situation, their eyes are drawn to it. That is one thing I'd like to see.
Have you seen our rich text fields?
I have seen it. I don't really know how to use that yet, and that's where I would like to get some more information and maybe learn more about how to do something.
Can we do it now live?
Absolutely.
Share screen? Yeah, if you share a screen, I'll step you through it.
Right.
We need to go into your admin area, and then we'll need to share back to an incident. But we'll go to your admin area first. And you'll need to go to the admin area and press share this tab, I think, once you're over there.
Oh, share this tab instead.
Yes, lovely. So if you go into templates and forms, we'll create a new form rather than edit any of your current ones. Forms at the bottom. New form template. And add section. Actually, you can give it a name, just test. It will be fine. And add a section, and then add a field and make it testing, whatever you'd like as a name. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, and then the type of field will be a multi-line field. You can hit OK. You just hit OK. It should work. Yep. And then instead of text, it'll be text multi-line. And now, do you see underneath it says enable rich text?
I do see that.
So when that's turned on, you'll get formatting options. So if you press save here, and then we're going to jump back to, you can either start a new incident or just go into any incident you're happy to go into and just add. You might have to go back to the other tab and press share this tab.
Sure.
Goodness.
Yeah, so if you go into any incident or start one, yeah. Okay, so you need to turn on your forms section. It's not on. It'll be in incident settings. That play obviously doesn't have forms. So on the left side, bottom left, incident settings. Yeah, and just check forms. Yeah, go click in forms, and then you should be able to add a new form, and you'll see your template called test. Maybe down the very bottom. Yep, and that field should have all your formatting.
Look at that.
So
that's simple.
So all you need to do is on any of your fields is enable rich text option on them, and that's a new feature. So anything that was plain text will still be plain text, but you can upgrade them to rich text.
Robin, is that a fairly new feature, I believe? Yeah,
in the last couple of months, I'd say, yeah, or last 6 months anyway, I'd say.
That's fantastic.
And so for if you click on the top right, there's a little question mark. It's just good to show everybody what's new in there. This is where if you've got a little alert there, this is everything that's new in the platform. So if you scroll down there, you'd see that update at some point. I don't know, there's quite a lot to keep up with. You want to be on top of, we do send emailers out as well to people. But you can subscribe there by email and you get all the changes as well. These drop-down field colors are cool too.
I really like the drop-down field colors. That's something we will most likely institute in our next major event because I really like the drop-down field colors. Excellent.
Is there anything else I can help you guys with while we're on this call? Or anything else I've missed that you felt I should say?
I want to give a plug, and I know that this is, it's not insincere. It really is that when I've had issues with D4H, reaching out to Marie, to any of your support people, y'all have been super responsive. You're in a different country, different time zone, across the date line, but yet your team is super, super responsive. You get back to us not within days, but usually within hours, and we're able to email, phone call. We've done everything. When we do have an issue, we're like, hey, we want to see this, or can you help us make that? Mm-hmm. Y'all really have been on top of it, and that's the customer service support. Truly is what separates y'all on top of the amazing user-friendly software. But being able to reach out to y'all at any given time, even though it's midnight there, y'all are super easy.
The trick is it might be midnight, but for me, but our team are over 7 countries, so we've got got good spread around you. But thank you very much. Yeah, we really appreciate that because we make a large effort on support and being there for you. So, and I think it kind of comes from the DNA of the company. It's where we're from and what we do. So really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Well, excellent. Well, I'm going to wrap up by just saying our next live stream is June 20th, and Billy, William Pappas, if you haven't met Billy yet, Billy's kicking off the hurricane season, Atlantic hurricane season, with a demo of D4H and Q&A on how to do it. And I think Amy's gonna post the registration link for that live stream in the comments underneath. So that's if you're interested in hurricane preparedness and a demo of D4H for hurricane preparedness. Billy's going to do that live stream next June 20th. Well, thanks everyone. As a recap, if you've liked what you've seen on this live stream, you can get D4H.com. And D4H.com is where you'll get all the information about it. And I'm sure Sergeant Gore and Captain Wyatt would be very happy to let anyone know how they find it, or if you have questions. If you're another police department and you want to use this, expand from just doing emergency management or special events into daily police operations, these are your guys to talk to. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks on the other end, and look forward to chatting on the help desk soon.